So research in psychology and anthropology suggests that cultural differences impact mental health. People in different parts of the world conceptualize and define themselves in very different ways. So people in Western cultures such as the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, parts of Western Europe, conceptualize themselves primarily in terms of their own needs, their desires, and their own personality traits. So I may think of myself as I'm curious, I'm empathic, I'm a caring person. In contrast, people in Asian cultures, Middle Eastern, South American, and African cultures think about themselves primarily in the context of their relationships. So I may think of myself as I'm a mother, I'm a teacher, I'm Asian Indian. And these differences in the ways in which people conceptualize themselves influence their day-to-day emotions, their thought processes, their motivational processes. But these differences also influence the ways in which people experience mental health and mental illnesses when things don't go well. So to give you a few concrete examples, when you think about depression, and particularly when we think about the Western psychiatric conceptualization of depression, we think about three sets of symptoms. We think about affective symptoms, like a person who feels sad all the time, cognitive symptoms, where a person feels or thinks that they're worthless, and somatic symptoms, where they are not able to sleep at night. And these sort of set of symptoms make sense when you think about them from the point of view of a more individualistic or I self. Because all of these symptoms are intrapsychic. They are related to who you are as a person. And there is some recent research that suggests that people in Asian cultures in particular, when they're depressed, might experience interpersonal symptoms rather than these intrapsychic symptoms. So they may really feel like they are not fulfilling their obligations at work, they're not fulfilling their obligations as a son or a daughter, that their relationships are suffering. And this is not to say that these ways of experiencing mental illnesses are exclusive. A number of patients who have experienced depression in Western cultures also experience interpersonal symptoms. But the question here is what might be primary or what is more or less salient to a person. To give you another example of PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder, again, when we think about the Western conceptualization of PTSD, we think about a person experiencing a whole host of intrapsychic symptoms, like they're having flashbacks, or they're avoiding thinking about the traumatic event. They might experience dissociation, they might experience hyperarousal. And some recent research suggests that people in Asian cultures might experience some of these symptoms, but perhaps in addition, and maybe more importantly, they experience interpersonal symptoms when they experience a traumatic event. So these are just two sort of concrete examples of thinking about how different ways of conceptualizing oneself might influence mental health and mental illnesses.